All right, here we are going to determine whether a test point is part of a solution. So this is Math 208, Week 4, Section 4.4. All right, so what we're being asked to do is to determine whether this point is part of a solution to this inequality. Now, what the heck does that mean? Well, what it means is you're going to graph, graph a line. Now, you're not going to do all of this work. And you're going to graph the line y. Now, it says it's y is greater than or equal to 3. So what you do is you think of this as y is equal to 3, and you graph it. Now, what the heck does that look like? It's going to look like this. It's going to be a flat line, and I'm kind of drawing it at an angle, but it's supposed to be a flat horizontal line right at 3. So there's our 3. And so it happens to be 0, 3. All right. Now what they're doing is they're saying, is -1, -1, which would look like right here, is -1, -1 a part of the solution? Is it a true statement or a false statement? So one way to think of it is, this says y is greater than 3. Y is greater than or equal to 3. So does the word greater than suggest above the line or below the line? Well, it's above the line. So the real solution, y is greater than or equal to 3, is above the line, which means it's really everything up here above the line. So that tells you that this guy is not part of the solution. So the answer would be nope, it is not part of the solution. But here's how you would show it mathematically if you need to. Like if it was too close to call and you couldn't quite tell just by looking at the picture. So I've copied the problem again. And remember that the point is -1, -1. And remember that x and y, all right? So this means we're going to replace y with -1 because it says so right here. So that statement becomes -1 is greater than 3. Is that a true statement? Is -1 greater than 3? No. This is a false statement. So that means this point right here is false, which means this whole side is false, so it stays unshaded. So false equals unshaded. And because this side is false by process of elimination, that means this side has to be true, and true equals shaded. All right? So when it's true, you shade it. When it's false, you leave it unshaded. All right, so here we've got another line and another test point, and basically, though, I'm going to quickly show you that, okay, so here's our graph, and because it says y is, what is it? Y is less than x minus 1. So what the heck does that mean? It means it's going to start down here at -1, and then the slope is up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. So our line is going to look like this, all right? And then we're supposed to shade. Now, the idea is, this says y is less than x minus 1. So are we going to shade above or are we going to shade below? And the idea is, oh, well, less than means you shade below. And so we're going to shade below, and we would shade this side. Now, by the way, I goofed up. This is less than, not less than or equal to. So really, that shouldn't be a solid line. It should be a dashed line. There you go. There's a dashed line. So that is the proper graph for this equation. And then because it says less than, you're going to shade below as opposed to above. So that's the real solution. So where is 4, 0? Well, 4, 0 is going to be somewhere, I don't know, here maybe, I guess. So the answer is yes. At least it looks like it. So here's how we would figure it out using numbers. So you got y is less than x minus 1, and our point, our test point, is 4 comma 0. So remember, that's your x, that's your y. So let's substitute in. So we're going to replace y with 0, and it's less than. And then we're going to replace x with 4, so that becomes 4 minus 1, and 4 minus 1 is 3. So is 0 less than 3? And that's a true statement. Since it's true, that means you shade, since 4 comma 0 is true, that means you shade it. And that means everything on the other side of the line is false, and it stays unshaded. This one, we're going to do it without making the graph, because if I can avoid it, I don't want to graph it. I don't want to convert it and change it into y is equal to mx plus b and graph it and all that sort of junk. So we're just going to take that inequality, 3x plus 2y is less than 6, and we're going to take that point 1, 1, and remember that is your x and that is your y. And you substitute, so you get 3 times 1 plus 2 times 1, and we want to see if it's less than 6. All right, so 3 times 1 is 3, 2 times 1 is 2, you get 5, and is 5 less than 6? Yep, that is a true statement. So whatever side of the line 1, 1 is, that is the side you would shade, because it is a true statement.